News 5's Good Morning Cleveland starts now.
Right now at 6, keeping Lake Erie clean. The president is changing course on the Great Lakes, how much money he is promising to help clean them up.
She insisted. She knew there was something wrong.
A dog helps a family escape their burning home just in time. Now the community is pitching in to help them get back on their feet. And
from an eyesore to a beautiful green space, how one county is planting seeds for a better land. Good morning. Happy Friday. Thanks for waking up with us.
Yeah, we appreciate you being here. Meg is keeping an eye on your traffic on this Friday, which is starting off on a rainy foot.
I tell you what, it's just soaked outside, so be careful, take it easy, give yourself some extra time, but it's not a super heavy rain, so we're fine. It's just kind of that annoying, gonna slow you down on a Friday morning. What's that?
Is this a Netflix day?
This may be, if not today, then tomorrow, because we've got almost an identical forecast. So here we go, looking outside right now, live look, there we go. Yeah, it's kind of foggy, drizzly, showery, kind of a dreary start to the day, but it's Friday, so put that big smile back on your face. Don't let the rain change your Friday mood. We do have some showers. We are going to need the rain gear most of the day today. The steady stuff will get out of here by midday, but we still can't completely dry it out until realistically midday Sunday. That's when we'll finally get to dry things out. Right now, check out this rain moving through Mansfield, moving into Mansfield near Lexington, Belleville, Perrysville, another little burst near Killbuck. That is some heavy rain. That will drop your visibility quite a bit. And even if you're into these lighter greens where it's not a heavy rain, if you're on the interstate, the spray, the throw up essentially from the cars in front of you, kicking up from the tires, that will, I say throw up, it will be kicking the rain up from the cars in front of you. That's nasty. We're talking about an okay day, but hey, right along the lake shore, it's going to be much cooler. We'll map it all out for you coming up. Meg?
Now everyone has to throw up.
Right? It just came right out. I don't know.
Right. Looking at our traffic this morning, we have 2 accidents here on the west side, both on Bel Air Road, one at Wanda, another one at West 130th. So those are very close. Now, we're going to jump all the way to the east side out to Ashtabula because we have an accident out there that's closing 84 both directions between Woodman and Campground Road. So if you're in that area this morning, make sure you have an alternate route to get around. Taking a look down in the Akron area, we're all clear though. Our drive times were still all in the green, so that's a good sign because we have all that rain out there that Trent just talked about. And I want to show you on our ODOT cameras, this is 71 at 40. You can see just how wet those roadways are. Additional headlights hitting the roads this morning, so we'll keep an eye on any other accidents. Katie.
This morning, some good news for the Great Lakes and the effort to clean them up.
President Trump is reversing course. He will now support the work to keep Lake Erie healthy. Jesse's live in Cleveland with more on the millions now going toward the lakes.
Yeah, well, it is a surprising shift from the president because just less than a month ago, his federal budget proposed cutting the Great Lakes Cleanup Fund from $300 million to $30 million. But just yesterday at a rally in Michigan, he promised the full $300 million to the restoration effort. This comes after many organizations lobbied in Washington asking for more federal funding for our lakes. The money will be used in part to fund programs to improve the water quality, which is important when you think about a quarter of Ohio's population that gets their water supply from Lake Erie. It also will make sure the lake is clear from harmful algae and the invasive Asian carps we've had problems with before. Last night, President Trump seemed excited to unveil the funding effort. Take a listen to what he had to say.
They're beautiful. They're big, very deep, record deepness, right? And I'm going to get, in honor of my friends, full funding of $300 million for the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative.
In addition to just making sure that the water is clean and a part of our landscape for years to come, the Lake Erie is also huge for tourism, bringing in about $15 billion a year. So obviously a lot of politicians are happy about this news. Live in Cleveland, Jesse Schultz, News 5.
Jesse, thank you. Time right now, 6:04. I want to get to a new report now on the condition of the places caring for our veterans. USA Today reports 52 of the 99 VA nursing homes inspected are actually causing harm. 3 of those centers are here in Ohio, too. Dayton, Cincinnati, and Chillicothe. The new report is based on the VA's health care inspection report. That report report came out a few weeks back. It found thousands of our veterans are getting substandard care. Inspectors who visited the facility in Dayton say residents weren't getting the proper medication and they were moaning in pain. But the issues are really wide-ranging. Inspectors found many of these homes are not taking basic steps to prevent and control infections. People were being exposed to hazardous conditions, and at many places, the residents were not being treated with dignity. So our tax dollars are being used to fund these VA nursing homes. We're paying more than $11 a day for each veteran. When the initial report came out, VA officials said residents in their nursing homes are more difficult to care for than those in private facilities.
Only on News 5, man's best friend coming to the rescue of a family in Oberlin. A fire started in the middle of the night, and they say their dog Riley jumped into their bed to wake them up.
She saved our lives. You know, there's no doubt about it. I'm very grateful to her.
4 people were asleep inside the home when the fire started a few nights ago. They say Riley got right in their faces, and that is the reason they woke up. They all got out without injury. But now, as you saw in that video, it is pure devastation, and that is starting to sink in. Friends have set up a GoFundMe page to help, and the community is dropping off a lot of donations right now at the hotel where they're staying.
People on the street coming up, oh, can I hug you? Is there anything I can do? And I'm thinking in my head, who the heck are you? You know, which, I mean, I'm so grateful, but that's the kind of thing it is. I mean, people you barely know are right there for you.
Firefighters aren't sure yet just how the fire started. If you do want to help out, you can find more information on the News 5 app.
Time right now, 6:06. A small town in Northeast Ohio has a big problem this morning, and trying to figure out how to become a better land with a dangerous abandoned coal mine in its backyard.
Only on News 5, Kevin Barry here with us this morning with the plan some folks in Dover are putting into action this weekend.
It's taking something that's old and turning it into something new again. The transformation of the former Desiker mine complex in Tuscarawas County is almost complete, and it's about to hit a big milestone.
We are going to be planting 5,000 hardwood trees in that area.
On Saturday, nearly 300 volunteers
Beautify it, stop erosion, and make it a better place.
will start planting trees.
When I think how ugly that site used to be and how beautiful it is now, it's amazing.
The site has already come a long way. The mine closed in 1995. It sat vacant and deteriorating on unused land for years until the Camp Tuscarawas Foundation bought it and found the money to reclaim the land.
The project was able to take a dangerous situation, an extreme liability, and transform it into a productive asset for the future use of the camp.
Once the project is complete, the site will be used by nearby Camp Tuscarawas for parking, camping, and hiking.
Anything to help this camp and people come to the outdoors and get away from the devices is a good thing.
The Ohio Department of Natural Resources abandoned mine land program helped make the cleanup possible. And get this, there are abandoned mines in half of Ohio's counties. I'm Kevin Barry, News 5.
Yeah, the 34th annual induction ceremony for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is tonight. Janet Jackson will be joined by Stevie Nicks, Radiohead, The Cure, Def Leppard, The Zombies, and Roxy. The ceremony is in Brooklyn this year, but it returns to Cleveland next year. The show starts at 7:30. It will then air later next month on HBO.
All right, with 6 days until the deadline, we still don't know how much the new gas tax will be. Taking a look at this. It's now up to the Ohio Senate whether or not they sign off on Governor DeWine's newly proposed gas tax hike of 11 cents. And even though the House already backed this amount, the Senate isn't on board. They want a 6-cent per gallon increase instead. We've been telling you about this ongoing battle at the State House for more than a month when the governor originally asked for an 18 cents increase. He was quickly denied on that one. So after much back and forth, his office finally landed on 11 cents. So if the Ohio Senate agrees to this proposal, you'll be paying a total of 39 cents in gas tax. That money brought in from the tax increase will go towards improving and maintaining roads and bridges across our state. Now, the debate continues today. A deal has to be reached by March 31st. That's when the transportation budget has to be signed. Trent. Another look at weather.
Yeah, check it out. We've got rain outside this morning, so watch for those puddles, watch for those potholes and things like that, because we are going to be pretty soaked outside this morning. Visibility is going to be a bit lower, so make sure you give yourself some extra time as you head out the door. Look at these numbers, though. Numbers keep dropping along the lakeshore. It's because of that cold front I'm telling you about. That north wind, it's going to keep spots right along the lakeshore about 10 or so degrees cooler than areas inland. Most spots making it back into the 50s. Cleveland, not quite. I'm talking middle and upper 40s. That's about it. We will start to dry it out a bit later on, but it's still going to be a pretty soggy day, guys.
Coming up, where you're raising awareness through film. The contest being highlighted, that's the only one in the world.
And no, this is not a scene from the new Mary Poppins film. What happened to this guy as he tried to hang on to an umbrella, keeping it from blowing away?
First, new details on a tiger attack that ended a Vegas show.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the man behind the tiger is speaking out, accusing two of the most famous performers in Vegas history of a cover-up. In a new interview with The Hollywood Reporter, animal trainer Chris Lawrence recounts the night in 2003 when a tiger pounced on Roy Horn, biting his neck and ending his career. The legendary magicians told investigators and the public that Roy suffered a stroke on stage, compelling the tiger to lunge. But now Lawrence says Roy himself is to blame.
There were a series of missteps by Roy on stage.
Siegfried and Roy not responding to Lawrence's allegations in The Hollywood Reporter or providing ABC News with comment. And coming up at 7 a.m., more on what Lawrence says actually happened the night of the attack. With your GMA First Look, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News, New York.
A lot of people are depending on you, and we're paying money for it. We're just kind of like cockroaches or garbage in their eyes.
Some passengers there not happy and still trying to get home this morning after WOW Air suddenly shut down.
More than 1,000 people found out the news as they arrived at airports around the world yesterday. That airline has been struggling with financial issues for months. WOW says customers who paid with a credit card should contact the company to see if they can get a refund.
Officials at the Grand Canyon are investigating 2 separate deaths this week. At least one is from someone falling into the canyon while trying to take a picture. The tourist from Hong Kong fell more than 1,000 feet from one of the observation decks yesterday. Witnesses say he stumbled while trying to take photographs. On Tuesday, a body was found in the park, and right now officials are trying to figure out the cause of death. The city of Chicago wants $130,000 from Jussie Smollett. They say that is how much the criminal investigation cost. The police department says officers put in 2 weeks of overtime looking into the actor's claims that he was attacked. On Tuesday, prosecutors dismissed all the charges against him, but say they did not exonerate him.
The guy in Turkey got a wild ride he was never expecting. Look at this video here. I want to start by telling you the guy's okay. He was trying to keep a patio umbrella from blowing away during a tornado this week. And suddenly, you're about to see here, he goes for a ride. He says he was lifted about 13 feet into the air before he jumped off. The umbrella did end up hitting another guy on the ground. Actually broke that guy's ribs, too.
Oh, my goodness. Yikes.
Could have been a lot worse. That's crazy. That's and the other 2 guys that were holding on to that just like let go and let it go. So, man, kind of tough.
Here at home, we are dealing with rain, and then I think you said a little something about snow this weekend.
Yeah, Sunday morning, likely going to wake up with some snow on the ground in spots. I know. It's been so nice lately, but yeah, I know. Spring in Ohio, right? The day before our home opener for the Tribe, and yeah, we're talking snowflakes. We were talking snowflakes last home opener morning, but this time I think we're going to be doing a little bit better. We'll talk about that in a minute. We've got rain outside this morning. We're soaked. A lot of green on the radar, a lot of light to moderate rain where you see some of the darker greens. That's some heavier stuff once you get close to what? Beach City, moving into Brewster, moving through Berlin, just north of Kilbuck. This isn't enough to cause flooding. We'll watch maybe some creeks and streams get a little high, but we've been pretty dry, so this shouldn't be too bad. Now, once you factor in yesterday's rain plus today's rain and then tomorrow's heavier rain, we could get in on some creeks and some streams getting a little high on their banks. But widespread flooding, not quite the story with this whole situation. It's just very inconvenient and could mess with your plans. Right now, light rain pushing through Cuyahoga, Lake Geauga, Ashtabula, essentially every single one of our counties. We're all getting rain, whether or not it's light to moderate or maybe even a couple brief bursts of some heavier stuff. We have all got rain. So we're soaked for the morning drive. We'll get some breaks this afternoon. And the farther inland you are, the warmer the temperatures are going to be. I'm talking 40s for the lakeshore. For Cleveland, about 48, maybe 49. We'll get into the 50s the farther south you are, and it's all because of the wind. Winds right now west-northwest in Ashtabula. Compare that to Akron, where you have west-southwest. That's your 5-degree difference. That's your temperature swing. North winds in Cleveland at 42. West winds in Worcester at 50. So the farther north you are, the north side of this, you've got colder air. The south side of it, you've got warmer air. We're all dealing with rain. Eventually, we'll get that drier air working in here. So it's not going to be a washout of a day, but we are soaked for your morning commute. Here's your futurecast. The steady rain gets out of here. We'll keep a few light showers in the forecast this afternoon, but the temperatures, the range, it's going to be all over the place. Tomorrow, heavier rain, and then, like Katie was saying, we've got a shot of some snow early Sunday. Meg, how are we looking on the streets? It's wet outside.
It is wet outside, Trent. We got that going on. Taking a look. I am looking at our drive times here this morning. Despite all of that rain that we got going on out there, we're all in the green for our drive times. We do have a couple of accidents going on out there. One on the west side, that is on Bel Air Road. One at Wanda, another one at West 130th. And over in Ashtabula, we got an accident going on over there that is shutting down Route 84 in both directions. If we want to take a look outside of our ODOT cameras, this is 71 at 480. As you can see, the roadways are wet out there this morning, but traffic is still moving along. I'll keep you updated throughout Good Morning Cleveland, guys.
Okay, Meg, thank you. A man from Cleveland will make his big screen debut this weekend at the Cleveland International Film Festival.
Mason Caminetti is one of the subjects of Man Made. The documentary highlights the Trans FitCon bodybuilding competition. It's the only all-transgender bodybuilding contest in the world. Mason says he hopes this film brings awareness to pressing issues in the LGBTQ community and offers hope.
People that happen to be transgender, but also I'm hoping that they can just kind of relate to it, because it's a story just about being human and the challenges that you face just as a human being. So hopefully they'll get something just from one human being to another. I think that's a story that anyone can relate to.
Man Made is showing Sunday night, and then again on Monday. We have a link to all the movie times for you on the News 5 app. Brackets busted. Ugh, didn't take long for the Sweet 16 to mess up an Ohio man's perfect tourney bracket. Greg Nigel is the first person to ever have a perfect bracket going into the Sweet 16. He picked Tennessee to beat Purdue last night, but Purdue won in overtime. Still, man, quite the accomplishment for him to be proud of. He was flown out to California to watch one of last night's games in person. You will be hearing from him coming up on Good Morning America at 7 o'clock.
An Olmsted Township firefighter was sent off in style last night. This lieutenant just retired after 35 years of service. The police and fire vehicles drove past his house celebrating his last day. We asked him what he's going to miss most.
The people that we work with, we work a 24-hour shift, so I've spent a third of my life with the guys that I work with. The only people I'm with more is my family here at home, so we have a lot of time spent together. I'm going to miss being with the guys, and I'm going to miss doing the job.
Metro Life Flight also gave him a flyover last night. He says the first thing he's going to do now is take a vacation. Up next, speaking of, do you have a trip to Disney in your future? You'll need to check the size of your stroller first.
I felt really disgusted about what had happened.
Yeah, you'll probably be disgusted too when you see what a delivery driver was caught doing just before dropping off a milkshake. Good Morning Cleveland. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Hey, welcome back. It's a Good Morning Cleveland. Let's talk about lake life, because we're ready to get back to it, right? It is now going to cost you to put your boat in on the water at Cleveland Metro Parks. There will be a $5 fee each time you use a boat launch, rather, at Edgewater, Gordon, in the Rocky River Reservation. Or you can just pay a $30 fee for the entire boating season. Just get it out of the way. Cleveland.com says kayaks and canoes, though, they will still be free. So bring on those sunny, warm days when you just crave being on the water.
It's almost time. It's almost time.
We got to get through this weekend, though, it sounds like.
I tell you what, we've still got snow in the forecast. You ready for it?
Exactly.
Soaked outside this morning. This is all rain, all 40s and 50s, not bad. Once we get through tomorrow's heavier rain, temperatures drop from the 50s into the 20s. I've got snow overnight Saturday night into early Sunday. A mix, maybe even some slick spots early Sunday. After that, we will start to rebound. It's a beautiful week next week with temperatures maybe even near 60 degrees towards the middle of the week. We're still going to be cold, though, for that Monday for your home opener. I know we've got 40s, but if you're going to the home opener, you got to get there several hours early, right? Plan for 30s, sunshine and 30s, guys.
Okay, Trent, thank you. This next story is kind of about when two conveniences converge. We're talking about being able to have food delivered to you through the app, and then those cameras that everybody has on their homes. Yeah, a guy in California made a pretty yucky discovery while he was looking at his security cameras.
This will gross you out and infuriate you at the same time. The delivery driver sampled the man's son's milkshake before he dropped it off. That's the delivery driver right there. Drinks the milkshake seconds before the kid opened the door. So they ordered this through DoorDash. That's the app. The family did not find out until the next day when they looked at their camera footage.
My dad told me to go check out the video from last night. And once I checked it out, I brushed 5-6 times. And then I felt really disgusted.
No. Dad says he reported what happened to DoorDash more than 2 weeks ago. The family still hasn't heard back yet.
That is rude. Rude. Hey, you will want to check the size of your stroller if you are going to Disney soon, because there is a new limit on the size parents can bring to the parks in Florida and California. We have the new measurements for you posted right now on the News 5 app. Disney is also changing the smoking policy. It will not be allowed in any of the parks. The stroller and smoking policy take effect May 1st.
Coming up, we all know the Cookie Monster loves his sweets, but how does he feel about football and quarterbacks, to be specific?
And how do you feel about denim underwear? It's a new fashion trend, apparently.
Okay, make it work.
And they aren't cheap. Stop it.
Oh.
We need some blurs on these,
I think so. This is a family show. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Good Morning Cleveland on News 5.
Now at 6:30, a proposal that could relax the requirements for concealed carry. Then investigating our area's senior care crisis and the help on the way today. Plus, the new program sprucing up homes in Lakewood for the springtime.
Well, first, some of you waking up to some rain right now, so Trent is here tracking the latest for you.
Man, we're soaked outside this morning. Rain gear, you're going to need it. It's not going to be raining like this all day. We will get a break, but man, for right now, it's soaked. Let's get straight to it. Let's show you what we have going on outside this morning. Rain, the big story. Rain and cooler air for some, depending on where you are. Akron, Canton, New Philly, if you're heading down 77, much warmer. If you're along the lakeshore, though, much cooler. But there's our morning forecast, essentially, green and yellow. This is our afternoon forecast. Pockets of some green, some lighter stuff, kind of like yesterday afternoon. So it will shape up as we go through the day, but right now, we're soaked. Mansfield, over to Canton. That 77 corridor right there. That's soaked. Essentially all of the corridors, all of the roads are soaked outside this morning. If you're on the interstates, faster speeds, higher speeds, more cars, more traffic, you're going to have visibility problems because of the spray from cars in front of you. But as far as any just plain old heavy rain, it's a moderate to briefly heavy stuff from Richland and Ashland counties. And then again, over near about the Bolivar area once you get into Tuscarawas County, Sugar Creek. Again, other than that, it should just be a light rain. This is important, though. Notice these blue colors along the lakeshore. I've got a cold front that's sinking south, and it's going to hang out essentially right at around or just north of Akron, between Cleveland and Akron. 40s along the lakeshore, low 40s right now, definitely chilly. 50s to the south. That's kind of how the day's going to shape up. So, Meg, temperatures are really going to vary depending on where you are. We're all soaked.
Looks like we all want to be south today, 50s.
That's where we want to be.
Come on. All right, taking a look at our roadways out there. The Cleveland area, for the most part, you're looking pretty good this morning. We do have a couple of accidents here on the west side. Those are both on Bel Air Road, one at Wanda, one at 130th. Those are left over from our traffic system. Taking a look down in the Akron area, you are all clear this morning. Our ODOT cameras, here is a look at 71 at 480. As you can see, a lot of people are hitting the road at this time this morning. And but again, we're moving right along. I'll keep you updated on anything else going on, guys.
Right now, let's talk about a new gun bill that would allow people in our state to carry and conceal a weapon without a permit.
News 5's Jesse Schultz live in Cleveland to explain the proposed change.
Well, right now there is a process of steps that people need to take in order to legally conceal a gun in public. But if this bill were to pass, those steps wouldn't be there. So here's the current law. Anyone 21 or older has to complete an 8-hour training course, apply for a license at their local sheriff's office, and pass a background check. But House Bill 174 proposes that anyone who legally has a gun can carry a concealed weapon without any permit or licensing. And that's not the end of the changes. It would also get rid of the requirement that people with a concealed carry have to tell police they have those guns when they're stopped. It's not just restricted to handguns either, but also allows people to conceal long guns like rifles and shotguns. The bill itself is supported by about half of the House Republicans, but Democrats have spoken out against it, saying that this is not what Ohio needs in order to keep us safe. Live in Cleveland, Jesse Schultz, News 5.
Okay, Jesse, thank you. Our investigation into a fertility center failure at UH has uncovered how eggs and embryos from more than 900 patients were destroyed. In a lawsuit just released, there are charges the company providing the storage tank to UH knew about a flaw that could cause temperatures to change suddenly. But the hospital was never told. It also claims UH knew the embryos should be stored in several tanks but used only one. And some allegations are still a secret because entire paragraphs of the lawsuit in that paperwork were redacted. You can read more about the fertility clinic failure and our investigation right now on the News 5 app.
Today, Cuyahoga County will unveil a new program. It's designed to help connect older residents with county services. Leaders with the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging said the demand for senior care in Northeast Ohio will explode over the next decade. They worry this will overwhelm systems to care for them and say you should start planning now for your loved ones.
They're lonely. They want to see you. They need help. They need someone to go to the grocery store. So when you decide to be a caretaker, you don't realize everything that's involved.
This afternoon, county leaders will announce the new plan to help seniors learn about their options and what resources are available. We'll be there. We'll bring you the details tonight on News 5 and on the News 5 app. In the next few weeks, improvements are finally coming to a city-owned parking lot on the west side of Cleveland.
For decades, members of the Camps Corner Development Corporation have been trying to get the city to fix the lot. It's at West 168th Street and Albers Avenue, right behind a popular row of bars. It was last paved 18 years ago. Well, now part of the new pavement plan includes building special funnels, and they will naturally filter any gas, oil, or salt out of millions of gallons of stormwater before it seeps into the soil.
A million gallons is a lot of stormwater runoff, and we have had some flooding issues with some of the businesses down here, so obviously it's going to hopefully alleviate all of the flooding issues of backing up the sewers and so forth.
Construction starts in early April, is expected to last about 2 months. A majority of the parking lot will still be accessible.
Lakewood Alive is helping residents spruce up their homes this spring, making the city a better land. As part of the Paint Lakewood program, the organization is offering up to $3,500 for eligible residents to paint the outside of their homes. To qualify, you must meet HUD-established income guidelines and some other restrictions.
Paint Lakewood program is designed to assist low moderate income households to ensure that the exterior of their home is in good quality care. We want to ensure that the homes have no peeling or blistering paint, that they look good, and it's something that they can take pride in on a daily basis.
The application process is open, runs through early fall. We'll be posting a link on our News 5 app.
The city of Eastlake could be getting an outdoor fitness court. The News Herald is reporting City Council just accepted a $30,000 grant from the National Fitness Campaign to try to make this happen. But right now, the grant does not cover the entire cost of construction and equipment. So council is trying to raise the additional money right now. They would like to build the courts near the community center by the end of this year. Up next, if you are looking to have some fun and avoid the rain this weekend, we'll tell you about the exciting indoor events that start today.
Then a new report released overnight on 2 Boeing planes. What investigators believe caused them to crash, killing everyone on board.
Welcome, baby Jumbo. We're all family here, no matter how small.
More clips I see from this movie. It looks really good. This is a good weekend to spend inside because, yeah, it's raining, but also some great movies coming out. This one included. Dumbo flies into theaters today. It's going up against Us, that horror hit that already broke records last weekend.
A Cleveland tradition returns today. This is the 30th year for the IX Indoor Amusement Park. Our partners at the Beacon Journal found some great old photos of this annual springtime event. It opens at 11 o'clock this morning with more than 100 rides and attractions and runs through April 22nd. And this is the last weekend of Restaurant Week in both Lorain County and Cleveland.
A lot of great options out there, too. You get 3-course meals for just $30, I believe it is. So Cleveland, it runs through tomorrow. Lorain goes until Sunday. So, yeah, get out there and see what all our local restaurants have to offer you.
It should be a good weekend for it. I mean, yes, it's going to be raining, but as long as you're eating inside.
It's always a good time to eat now.
Right,
Come on.
Seriously.
Come on.
Yeah, you're right. We've got some rain rolling through this morning. Give yourself some extra time. Again, running from the car to work or from your house to your car this morning. Yes, it is going to be wet. I mean, there's steady rain everywhere. There's no real time to pick it out to get outside without having to need those umbrellas. At least not this morning. There is some drier air trying to work in here later on today, so you will get some time to kind of dodge that rain later on, but for right now, there's really nothing to dodge. We're just soaked outside. 40s for the most part. For Cleveland, anywhere along the lakeshore, you're in the 40s all day. Inland, we're talking 50s all day, so warmer the farther south you are. And it does look like we get some drier time in here, but you're going to need the rain gear. It's going to be off and on. And don't forget, if you're driving through those school zones and things like that, driving anywhere essentially, if your wipers are on, your headlights need to be on also. We'll track it all out for you. Your Futurecast comes up in just a couple minutes here. We've got to talk about a huge swing. Who wants snow? No? We'll show you that coming up.
Next on Good Morning Cleveland, backing up drastic cuts that were proposed to the program the president just saved.
Plus, this could be a game changer in detecting colon cancer. We'll tell you all about the simple test that could catch it early. Come on back.
Hey, welcome back. Time right now is 6:44. This morning, the death of a 5th grader in South Carolina is sparking outrage, especially among parents.
Upsetting so many people out there. The girl died during a fight inside her classroom, but the teacher stood by and watched. Parents say the school district told staff not to get involved in student fights in case someone gets hurt, and then the school is sued.
They say it's a system put in place where they can't break up fights, but that should be high school. You have little kids.
There will be an autopsy today, then the medical examiner will release the cause of death for the 10-year-old. The other student involved in this was expelled from school, by the way, and no charges have been filed. Our education secretary spent the week explaining why the department needs to make budget cuts.
But President Trump has reversed part of the plan.
I just told my people I want to fund the Special Olympics, and I've just authorized a funding of the Special Olympics.
Yeah, the Special Olympics was on the chopping block as part of the education budget, removing almost $18 million in funding. Well, the cuts were really just a tiny part of a 10% reduction in the $70 billion budget. The plan still needs approval from Congress.
Right now, people in parts of South Dakota are racing to evacuate from flooding. This includes hundreds of farmers who are trying to get their animals to safety. Several rivers are overflowing from rain and melting snow. So far, no one's been hurt. The National Weather Service reports conditions will likely improve, helping to dry out that area a bit soon. Medicine, fencing, and cleaning supplies from Ohio are heading to Nebraska today. 30 volunteers will deliver several trucks filled with those donations for that area. The need is great, and as Trent said too, more rain in those areas as well.
I tell you what, spring is such a, I mean, yes, we get all the flowers, we get, I mean, just gets into summer, you get outside, you get to enjoy spring, but with spring comes melting, comes that thawing, comes more rain, I mean, comes severe storms, so it's, you got to take the good with the bad when it comes to Mother Nature and spring. We're dealing with spring here, spring rain here, not talking flooding or anything, just inconvenient, kind of a disruptive rain this morning, nothing, you know, severe or anything like that. There's not even thunder outside, but it is enough to make those roads pretty wet. You're going to have spray, you're going to have some visibility issues, you're going to be soaked if you're not running around with an umbrella. I don't have a lot of wind, I'd have a little bit of a wind, but not much, so you should be just fine with those umbrellas. Light rain for the most part, a couple little pockets of some moderate rain just kind of skirting right through. You can kind of see where that cold front's going to set up. The farther south you are, you're going to have a south wind and maybe even some heavier rain. The farther north you are, just some lighter stuff and also some cooler temperatures with that north wind. There's a little burst pushing through Grafton, Eaton, making its way up into the Brunswick area, Strongsville as well. Nothing major, but it is going to slow you down this morning because all this green, not a heavy rain, but it is a steady rain, so things are absolutely soaked as you head out the door this morning. As we go through the day, the farther north you are, you don't make it back into the 50s. We will dry it out a bit, but you got to wait to get inland. You got to get about a county south of the lake, essentially. Summit County, Akron and south to really get back into those 50s. I mean, right now in Worcester, you're already at 50. Mansfield, 51. New Philly, 52. Akron, 52. Ashtabula, 45. Cleveland, 42. You were at about the 52-degree mark earlier this morning for Cleveland. So temperatures are dropping. That was a live look in the rain, looking soaked everywhere. There's that morning burst of rain for your morning drive. Here's your afternoon. We get the widespread, the steady stuff out of here. I've just got some light showers the rest of the afternoon. After the morning drive, things do shape up pretty nicely. The issue is where that cold front sets up. The farther south you are, the warmer it is. The farther north you are, temperatures are going to struggle. There's that front. There's that boundary. We're going to have a couple little waves ride right along that, but the big story here is just depending on where you are. Farther south, you get south wind, you get warmth. The farther north you are, north wind, you get the cool air. By Saturday, we'll get the whole system pulling out of here. We'll get some heavier rain on the back edge of it. And believe it or not, that is snow, my friends, for early Sunday morning. By Monday, though, we're dry, we're sunny, we're calm. We're just chilly for that home opener.
Listen, home opener, everyone's in a good mood.
All
you know,
right.
Everyone will go even though it's cold, you know?
Give some sunshine,
Yeah.
all smiles.
All right, let's take a look at our drive times because that's what you care about this morning. How long is it going to take me to get to work? Here, they're all in the green despite all that rain that we have going on out there. Taking a look in the Cleveland area, the only thing going on is there was an earlier fire this morning out on East 131st. That's a side street, so it's not probably going to cause any slowdowns for you. Akron area, we're all clear. I do have one heads up, though. Tonight at 8 p.m., starting at 8 o'clock, 77 is going to close between 480 and 490, and that will be closed until Monday morning at 5 a.m. There's some road construction going on there for that Harvard Avenue Bridge. The detour there, just take the Jennings Freeway. All right, let's take a look outside right now. This is our ODOT camera, 90 at 77, the Interbell Bridge coming into the city. As you can see, traffic building, but again, no major accidents out there. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning.
Me love Baker Mayfield.
Oh.
How could me not go with guy named Baker?
That makes a lot of sense.
Plus, he really turned the Browns into contenders last season.
He did.
You know.
Yeah. Almost
Little
made the
shout
play.
out to Baker.
Shout out Baker. You heard it here first. Cookie Monster's a big fan. The playmaker and maybe the cookie baker too, because Cookie Monster, he loves him. He just admitted that yes, Baker Mayfield is the greatest QB as well of all time. Not only his most favorite, but the best.
The Browns, it seems, surprised the team. Share that video, adding, it makes sense. It does.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage got hitched in Vegas over the weekend. It didn't last long, though.
The Oscar winner filmed for an annulment, or filed for an annulment, rather, just 4 days after he tied the knot. Cage and his bride dated for about a year. The secret wedding Saturday was his fourth marriage, but also his shortest.
I just can't with this next story right here. Look at this. Just look at this. I'm not even going to say any words. Just look at this.
Look at it.
This is denim underwear.
It can't be
Looks like a denim diaper.
3 color options you can see there. And the clothing designer company is called Y Project. Exactly. I'm wondering why you did this project. From Paris, they just posted this online. These are $315.
They can't be
$315. Wait. The black ones, the black denim ones, are $377.
You could just get yourself a cheap pair of jeans, you know, if you're really into this look. Just cut them off at the thighs there, cut them high. And
so you wear those under your jeans?
No.
Like double jeans?
That's okay. Trent would buy these and wear them as actual undies. No, you wear them just like that because I mean, it's warming up.
Why not?
Warming up.
Up next.
Some humid days in the summertime here.
Up next. A neighborhood eyesore that's coming down in about 2 hours. Also, we'll talk about President Trump. He is changing his plans for Lake Erie.
Plus, how you could catch the flu from your dog. It's all 1 minute away in the morning sprint.
$377 for some denim drawers.
Good Morning Cleveland continues with the morning sprint.
Time right now is 6:53. Let's get you caught up on today's top stories.
And our 5 minutes of nonstop news starts with some new information this morning. Cleveland is tearing down this condemned home. We told you when a basement wall there collapsed, creating a dangerous situation for kids walking to school. Demolition should start at 8:30. And Wadsworth is ready to talk about relocating a holiday celebration. Complaints and a petition called to end the fireworks display at a cemetery. Now the Beacon Journal says a meeting is planned Tuesday night at Wadsworth City Hall.
All right, the clock is ticking. In just 2 days, the governor needs to sign the transportation budget, and we still don't know how much more we'll be paying at the gas pump. It looks like just a few pennies are holding up the final decision on the gas tax. It's now all up to the Ohio Senate. This week, Governor DeWine proposed a hike of 11 cents. But the Senate wants only a 6 cents per gallon increase instead. We've been telling you about this ongoing battle for more than a month. The debate will continue today. If the Senate agrees, you'll be paying a total of 39 cents per gas tax. The extra money will go towards improving and maintaining roads and bridges across our state. The morning sprint continues with Jesse Schultz live in Cleveland. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, Meg. Well, just less than a month after President Trump suggested cutting funds to the Great Lakes Restoration Project, he is now switching gears. The original proposal would have cut the funds from $300 million to just $30 million. But at a rally in Michigan, the president promised the full $300 million for the lakes. That money will go in part to making sure the water quality is high, there's no invasive species like Asian carp, and there's no harmful algae blooms. Lawmakers throughout Ohio seem to be happy with the thought of keeping our lakes healthy. Live in Cleveland, Jesse Schultz, News 5. The morning sprint now continues with Kevin Berry. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Jesse. And from this to a totally new look in a little bit south of Akron. Transformation of the former DeSecker mine complex in Dover is almost complete. It's about to hit a major milestone. Starting tomorrow, nearly 300 volunteers will begin planting 5,000 trees. The site's already has come a long way. Since the mine closed back in 1995, it's sat vacant and deteriorating on unused land for years until the Camp Tuscazor Foundation bought it and found the money to reclaim that land.
Anything to help this camp and people come to the outdoors and get away from the devices is a good thing.
Once the project is finished, the site will be used by nearby Camp Tuscazor for parking, camping, and hiking, and the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Abandoned Mine Land Program helped make this cleanup possible. Get this, you may not know, there are abandoned mines in half of Ohio's counties. Katie?
A federal judge says the Trump administration cannot offer insurance plans lacking the minimum requirements for Obamacare. The ruling applies to association health plans. Politico is reporting those plans are cheaper but offer less coverage. About a dozen parents involved in the college admissions scandal head to court today. In all, at least 30 parents are charged with conspiracy. Federal investigators believe they paid out an estimated $25 million in bribes. More parents are scheduled for hearings on Monday.
A report released overnight by investigators explains how a software glitch may have brought down 2 commercial planes. The Wall Street Journal reports the system misfired on the Boeing MAX 8 plane. The model was involved in 2 crashes only months apart. Boeing says it has a fix. Today is National Vietnam Veterans Day. Cleveland will have an event. They had an event yesterday honoring those who served. Millions answered the call to duty, and 58,000 lives were lost in that war.
A Phoenix-based company says it has a new blood test that can pinpoint proteins linked to colon cancer with a 94% accuracy rate. Colon cancer is the 3rd most common cancer in the United States and 2nd deadliest. Scientists now believe 2 strains of the dog flu could become highly contagious for more than man's best friend. Experts say the virus can mix with the bird or swine flu and then mutate. At this point, they say they don't know just how harmful it may be for people. Meg, how are the roads looking?
Well, we're looking really good out there this morning despite the soggy start to the day. This is a live look heading into downtown at 90 at 77. You can see all the headlights there on the left side coming into the city, but no accidents to report.
Good news. Even though we are soaked outside, we're soaked through the morning drive. This evening, we'll start to dry it out a little bit. Still cool, though. 50s tomorrow with heavy rain. I've got cold temperatures, maybe snow Sunday morning, accumulating snow possible. And then, hey, your home opener, it's bright.
I was going to say, yeah, that's when we'll see you again Monday for the home opener. Have a great weekend.